and the Punisher podcast, fighting CPS with their bare mouths, have added a Tuesday night edition, The Stipulation Nation. The CPS tyrant take down the nerd from nowhere, the attitude with the truth to back it up, Becca Garrison. This should make for an amazing lineup of attitude, pizzazz, fun, and downright CPS stomp down. They can't run forever, and when they stop, this posse will be right on their heels. No more kids for cash, and we are kicking some ass. Join us Tuesdays to stipulate with Becca.
Disclaimer: TIFF, N, The Punisher. The views and opinions expressed in this episode of TIFF and the Punisher are those of the hosts and guests solely and do not constitute legal advice, medical advice, or professional counsel of any kind. This content is produced for educational, informational, and advocacy purposes only. Viewers should consult their own licensed attorney for advice specific to their situation. Nothing in this video constitutes a threat, call to violence, harassment, intimidation, or any form of harm directed at any judge, prosecutor, police officer, CPS, DCS worker, government official, or private individual. We do not advocate, encourage, or condone violence, threats, or illegal acts of any kind. All commentary is protected political speech and criticism of government policy and practices under the First Amendment. Any references to public records, court filings, news reports, or personal experiences are presented as commentary and opinion. Names, case details, and events discussed are drawn from publicly available information or the speaker's own experiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Content may address sensitive topics, including child welfare, government overreach, and family separation. Copyright 2026, TIFF N, The Punisher. All rights reserved.
They are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say for those who have been isolated. Don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallets. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You will no longer will steal our kids this way. TIFF and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. TIFF wants to fight the entire planet. She's tired of our kids being taken. God damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up by TIFF TAC. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with hot speed. We will do so much speed. birds of a feather flock together. So watch out, CPS, here we come, picking you off one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken, sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows, and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher Warrior. To all of you out there, we need support for a cause that many don't care. Our children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping.
What's up, Tiff?
Oh, hi. Is that a bathrobe or a sweater?
No, it's my shirt. See, it's got buttons and everything.
Oh, it looks like a bathrobe. Well, of course you're talking. I'm talking to, I can't see shit.
Yeah. No, it's a pair of panties. I just wore it as a shirt.
Are they pink?
No, but those are right next door to me, right in the drawer.
No, I
have
don't
two
care.
pairs.
I don't care. I was joking.
I've got two pair.
Okay,
And it's not pink,
thank you.
it's salmon.
TMI,
Salmon.
TMI, TMI.
You are the one that asked. So
I did, and I stuck my foot right in my mouth. My bad, everybody.
yeah, better in the mouth than in the keister, right? That's what they
Oh
say.
my. Okay, so how you doing, Darren?
Oh, well, I'm upright and taking nourishment. Seems like that's a good place to be for some of us. For others, maybe not. But I guess we don't have to worry about that because we are here.
Yeah, but I got some bad news.
Oh my God! It's Tuesday night.
Dolly Parton died today.
I know. We should have a moment of silence for Dolly Parton. Let's do that. We're gonna have a moment of silence for Dolly Parton, everybody. All right. There's our moment of silence for Dolly Parton. Whoops. Oh
my.
Man, it's too bad. You know what? If I would have had the time today, and I actually just found out that she passed away a little while ago. But I wish I could have made the song and done it with her singing it. That would have been pretty cool.
Yeah. I said,
oh, man.
I was cooking and I heard something about Dolly Parton, right? And I was like, did I hear that right? So I had to wait for it to come across the bottom of the TV, and it said, yeah, Dolly Parton did pass away today. And I said, oh. I mean,
That's
I only
too
like
bad.
one song by her, but I mean, I liked her because she did
Islands
a lot
and
of good for the
Streams?
community.
Is that your song? Did you like
No.
Islands and Streams?
No, 9 to 5.
Working 9 to 5. That's all I know about
That's
it.
the one.
Yeah, that's all I needed to know.
Yeah.
I like Island in the Streams. That one. She did
I
that
like
with
that
Kenny
song
Rogers,
too.
right?
Oh, you know what she did?
Yeah, I bet Kenny Rogers. Is Kenny Rogers still alive? Because he must be crushed today.
He passed away years ago.
Okay, so he's probably upset either way, but not as upset as he would have been if he was on this side.
Right. But I will tell you
well,
this.
you know what? Then you know what? They met in heaven, and then there they are. Those two are met up again in heaven.
The day that Elton John dies, I'm telling you, I'm going to have a rough day if it's on a day that we have a show, because Elton John is my shit, okay? And that man, if he were to show up at my front door, I would have I swear to God, I would drop dead of a heart attack. I'm just saying.
Well, you're going to do that anyway with all the stress you're going under. But
Speaking of that, I weighed myself again today.
oh my God, what do you weigh? 3 pounds?
I've lost 5 more pounds. So I've lost a total of 20 pounds since May.
So if you guys want to take the Tiffany Wise diet, you can go ahead and start homeschooling and then do some lawsuiting and
own your own business.
Own your own business. And I mean, what else is part of the program? I mean, I don't know when she eats. I don't even know when you have time to eat. And when you are eating, apparently you're burning children. So,
Yeah.
you know, according to them. So, you know, what the hell? But you know what? I bet Becca's sitting back there going, who the hell are these people that they're talking about? She probably has no
Bring her
idea.
out.
You know, seeing how we have the age gap of 20 years here. Becca, do you even know who Dolly Parton is?
Did you really just insult me with not knowing who Dolly Parton is?
No, I more or less wondered. If
I
you even knew who she
literally
was.
was
Not
driving
through
in my car.
ChatGPT, a real one.
No, listen, Linda, I was driving in my car and I heard it on the radio and I was like, oh my God, I got to call Dave. Because Dave's met Dolly Parton in person, like at Dollywood.
Oh, wow, did he?
So,
Oh, man,
yeah,
Dave's the
like
shit.
when he
I
was,
knew it.
when he was like a teenager, when he was right around the time he was like 18 or so. And he met Dolly Parton in Dollywood.
Oh, teenager or 18?
What? Well, he's still a
Is
teenager at
18,
18,
is
dummy.
18 a teenager?
Yes. 18.
It is?
Teenager.
18 is a teenager still?
I mean, technically, yeah.
We're going to have to dive
So
into
is
that one day.
19.
Yeah.
All the way
Yeah.
up until your 20s, you're a teen.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the whole name, the whole teen, because it's teenager, but doesn't that seem weird that when you're 18 and you're old enough to be on your own and be an adult and everything, that they still call you a teenager? Like,
Well, I
would
mean,
you
we
ever
still
call
really-
someone that was 18 or 19 a teenager to their face?
Yeah.
I would now.
Um,
But I'm just saying, like, you know,
Well,
like,
I
doesn't
would-
that seem weird?
I will tell you this, and Becca, please don't take offense to this.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Anybody that's 5 to 10 years younger than me, and they're trying to tell me some bullshit, I will say, look here, little boy, or look here, little girl. Okay? Because
Listen here, young lady.
I don't even say young lady. I say little girl or little boy. Right? Because my own kids, even though one's almost 40, I say the same thing to her. I'm like, don't get smart with me, little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, some people just
Becca
don't
called
know
me
how to
middle-aged the other day.
What?
Wasn't it you, Becca, that called me middle-aged?
No. I did not necessarily call you middle-aged. I was telling you how Dave got called middle-aged by one of the customers that come in to get an RV, and they called and they couldn't figure out which technician. They didn't know his name know him by name, and so they were describing him, and they described him as the good-looking middle-aged guy.
See,
And
that's
he was
nice.
he's like, well, at least I got the good looking, but the middle age,
Right.
he's like, I'm not even 40. Like, what do you mean? He was not very happy.
Which definitely puts me into the category of middle-aged man if Dave's not even 40. And,
Yep.
I mean, when is the middle? I always thought I was middle-aged at 30.
Well, you know, my
but the
kids
more
think I'm
you go
ancient
up in
at
years,
30.
the more you're like, all right, I'm going to keep going here because this is not middle age yet. This cannot be the middle age.
Well, look
My
here.
kid
When
literally tries to tell me I'm going to be 50, and I'm like, dude, I'm not even fucking 35.
Well, this is what my brain says, right? Girl, you still 30. My body's like, bitch, stop lying.
Yeah. who are you telling this story to?
Stop lying. You are nowhere near your 30s.
Yep.
Nowhere.
Going to bed. Yeah. When you pray every morning that you're going to wake up for real, that's when you know.
Or that you're going to wake up and not be in pain.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
when
used to be
you're
like, please don't be hungover tomorrow. Please don't be hungover tomorrow. Please don't be hungover tomorrow. Now I'm like, please wake up tomorrow. Please wake up tomorrow. Please wake up tomorrow. So yeah, that's that.
Or hobnobbing.
What you got, Becca? What you got new? What do you got going on? Tell us some stories.
Tell us some stories. I mean, I have
Tell us what's up.
some interesting things going on with my son's IEP placement. I mean, we could always talk about that because, you know, the school district essentially has been trying to talk me out of, I filed a due process complaint over the summer. And they expedited the hearing and all that. And so I had requested, I put in like a really, really detailed records request from these people. Like I wanted all the data from like to show that they essentially had done what they said that they were doing. They had done his IEP, they had implemented all the services, all of that dumb stuff. And day before because I finally agreed to mediation. I finally agreed that we could maybe go to mediation.
Becca,
Guess what?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing
I
at
know.
Darren. So don't think I'm laughing at you,
No, I
please,
know.
because
I
I'm
see
not.
him and
Darren
his
is over
fucking
here killing me.
balloons and his fucking balloons and his fucking sparkles and his fireworks and shit. Now you just thumbs up and everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
And essentially
Watch this
they
one.
have keep your fucking lasers to yourself.
Go on,
Essentially,
Becca.
they've made I ended up agreeing to mediation. Well, mediation's voluntary. Just so if anybody needs to know. Mediation is voluntary. You don't have to, you don't have to go to mediation, especially if you file a due process complaint. These people have literally been jockeying me to go to mediation. I finally go to mediation. The lawyer thought that she was going to get one over on me. And she was like, well, if you sign this agreement, you will then have to waive your due process complaint. I'm like, I'm like, okay, so I read it, and literally the first thing, like they have been so worried about me waiving this due process complaint. Like that's legit the only thing they have been worried about. And so I signed it, right? I signed it when I was there.
Wait. At this point, they don't even give a shit what's going on with your kid. They're just worried about what you're going to do.
Yeah. They're worried about if I'm going to essentially give up the due process complaint, because the due process complaint essentially holds them accountable. It exposes them and their conduct and what they did and didn't do. And that's what they're worried about. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, I'll sign it. The first thing it says on this agreement is that I would agree to waive the due process complaint. So I literally get I get up Saturday morning and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I'm going to revoke this. I'm going to revoke this signature. And I'm going to revoke this. And I'm like, okay, so I send it to, this is a Saturday. Okay. The hearing officer is a federal hearing officer. Like she is for the federal, like she's over the Ohio, the whole Ohio, ODEW or whatever it is. But she's a hearing officer for them. Mind you, this is a Saturday. I send this email revoking my signature and, essentially telling her like, I don't want to, invalidate my claims for due process. I get a email back that said received on a Saturday. And I'm like, okay. Sunday, I get a ruling on a Sunday of the agreement is vacated and due process is still on.
Nice.
And then
Very
Monday,
good.
I get a call from the mediator. Wondering what my problem is. Like what, like he's like, I'm confused. He's like, and the lawyer's confused. Like, you agreed to drop the due process complaint, but what can we do to what would be in the agreement that you would be willing to put in this? What would you be willing to put in this agreement in order for you to drop that due process complaint? I don't understand why they're so adamant about wanting that complaint dropped. So you know me, that's not the reason why I'm going to drop it. That's why I'm not dropping it, because there's obviously got to be something else. Well, when I had requested all these records, they gave me 58 records of my son's educational records. They gave me the disciplinary records, They gave me his IEP, his parent notices, his parent response notices, or whatever they are, copies of all these over the past couple years, but that's it. They didn't give me any data and I told him in the mediation hearing, I said, I'm not giving up due process if there is no accountability for this school. Well, what does accountability look like to you? I mean, yeah, you can give him, extra, what is it, like education, you can give him those hours. But this is not just my kid's problem. This is multiple kids' problem. I said, I'm not just here just for my kid. I said, I
Looks like
intend
that.
to make, yeah, I intend
That's
to
what due
make change.
process looks like.
Right. I intend to make change. And that doesn't mean just for my kid. I said, I wouldn't even have drug it out this far if it was just for my kid. If you just would have done the accommodations and stuff, like, and been held accountable, and there'd be somebody else there that was like, hey, yeah, I screwed up, whatever, we wouldn't even have got this far. But essentially, when I have parents that reach out to me and tell me that their kids have been done wrong and their kids haven't been, they haven't received what they needed to, I'm gonna fucking punch you, Darren. If I could punch you through this screen, I would.
Continue on, Becca.
And they essentially, I would have dropped it, and I wouldn't have said anything, but I couldn't literally watch these people, because what irritated me the most was they were doing it, and they knew they were doing it. They 100% knew they were doing it. I was being ignored by the school principal. Ignored. I reached out to him about summer school. I do not talk to nobody on the phone. And they know this. So I email them all the time. And I'll be like, what's going on? I want clarification, because I want it in writing. He has stopped all written communication with me. All of it.
Of course.
He won't even talk to me on the phone. He legit had somebody else call me and tell me that my son was eligible to go to summer school when I asked the question, because supposedly he had been removed, and he was not removed. He wasn't under any suspension, any trouble, anything like that. But I got a call saying that he wasn't allowed on the property. But why? There was no reason for that. Why is he, if he's not under suspension and he's not expelled, why can he not be on the property? He's a student. He still goes to the district. That makes no sense. And I'm like, okay. And I never got clarification as to why he couldn't be on the property, why he wasn't allowed to be there. They displaced him. They took him out of general education and put him in. He goes to school for 2 hours a day. And let me tell you, that may sound all hunky-dory, but it's really not, because today he played that. He'd been up since, he's an early morning riser. He'd been up since 7 o'clock in the morning. And 11:30 comes, he pulls that, Mom, I don't want to go. Mom, I don't feel good. Mom, and I'm like, no. I'm like, that's going to be a problem. I'm not doing this. It's the 3rd day of school, dude. This, and no, we're not doing that. But he's essentially he's bored. He has to have structure. And I even told them, and I told them in the mediation meeting, and the attorney tried to justify that she believes that her employees are fully trained and are aware, and they know what they're doing. But because they've done they did in-services over the summer. Okay, what did you do in this in-service? Give me a list of what you learned. Give me a list of what the agenda was. Prove to me that you actually did do it, and that's all I'm asking. But they literally can't do any of that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna send it to due process. And the hearing officer she was great. She set up everything. She's like, oh, here we go. She's like, and I think that she legit knows that there's issues and nobody has been willing to want to raise them. And because I'm not the only parent that has gotten that far. and has gotten for due process, has filed for due process. I know another girl who literally has for her twins, and she's gotten to due process, but she had an attorney. And of course, me, myself, and I ain't paying no crook to crook me even harder than I'm going to crook myself, So it's like, I'm not doing that. But like, so this school district is known for these kind of actions. And I'm like, no, I think just holding them accountable essentially is just going to be I'm not going to agree to, I'll agree to, the FBA, I'll agree to, the behavioral assessment, everything like that. But you're not going to lie and say that I didn't approve, because then the mediator says to me on Monday, he's like, well, they said that they tried to do an FBA, but you didn't sign off. You didn't sign off on it. I said, honey, show me the paper that says that they offered me one, because I don't have that paper. If that paper exists, then they just made it, because I have not gotten it. I said, I'll tell you that right now. I said, because if they would have asked me, I would have gladly agreed, because I kept saying when he was in 7th grade, now that he's a freaking freshman, or now he's a sophomore actually, but I've been saying since 7th grade, like, behaviors, manifestation, we need to do a manifestation. We need to find out if it's a manifestation. Oh, no. He just has to be held accountable. Okay. Like, these people are so stuck in their ways, and it's like, that's not what accountability looks like to a neurodivergent child. It's just not. Trust me, I've been his mom for 16 years, and I am still trying to figure that kid out. Like, I know it's not easy. So, but if they had somebody who knew what they were doing, knew what they were talking about, and was essentially teaching them how to handle it and how their brain functions and how their brain works. Like, I literally took in a packet to an IEP meeting and was like, here, this is some education on how these kids, how their brain works versus, other kids and, you and I. Like,
hold on back up. You brought up a good point, right? Like, they want to hold your son accountable, but they don't want to be accountable. We can't continue to have unaccountability when we live under the rule of law. Everybody is to take their accountability. So to say, well, he needs to take accountability, my response to them would have been, then you need to take responsibility.
Yep. And that's essentially what my response has been to them, because I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I can push it so far, but there will be accountability. And that's what they don't want. They don't want to have to expose their records to say that they weren't accountable, that they weren't implementing what they're getting federally paid to do, mind you, federally paid to do, because they get a check for him every month. They get money for these kids that are on IEPs.
How much do they get? How much do they get for kids like in these IEPs and stuff?
I never really looked into it. I've heard different numbers. But it ranges from, I think it was like $5,000 to like $20,000 or something like that. But it was crazy. But they get like all this funding, and they get these grants, and then they get, all this stuff. And it's like, you're not doing these things. Like, because if you were doing them, you would gladly hand me the proof that says, here's where we did A, B, C, and D. We implemented, this IP. We were following it, and he just wasn't, it was just him. You're not going to put it all on him. He fucks up enough in life. Like, I don't need you to, add to him and what he's doing. Like, I know that and I've never been that parent that's like, oh no, my baby would never. No, I know he would do that. I know that he's done some of the, you know what I mean? Like, I don't underestimate the level of stupidity that comes from out of these kids sometimes. So I'm just like, I kind of am like, you tell me something, I'm like, yeah, well, probably, I wouldn't doubt it. So I'm not that parent. I don't coddle my child. He's like, Mom, he tells me all the time, Mom, you're a helicopter parent. Dude, you do not know what a helicopter parent is. Just because I want to know where you're going, who you're with, where you're at, and if you're safe, does not make me a damn helicopter parent.
Well, I will tell you, the first time I ever heard that, my daughter said that to me. I said, what the fuck is that? She's like, I'm literally on top of them. I said, why? Why? And she still does it. She's like, I don't know. I just want to make sure that they're safe. And I said, I get that. But you weren't raised like that. Now, I did protect you from a lot of stuff, but I wasn't up your ass 24 hours a day and vice versa.
No. I mean, essentially, there's no need for that. Like, you have to let them grow as people. You know, they have to learn to make mistakes. They have to be able to learn from those mistakes. They have to be able to see, you know, actions do have consequences, you know, and the law essentially has not helped, like, even my son in this situation. When I, you know, come out of my house, when I had them here and Mason was in my house and he was literally freaking punching the wall, screaming and yelling, and I was like, take him to jail. He's being unruly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, we can't take him. They won't accept him at West Central. What do you mean? Yeah, we have all these laws and all these rules, and they don't like to, you know, start them off and put them in West Central. And I'm like, wait a minute here. So you are telling me that you want to essentially let these kids get away scot-free, because this isn't just with my kid. Like, I literally had a kid come to my house, steal my other son's bike. I caught him. I caught him with it. Him and his friend, I caught him with it. I ran him down in my car. I didn't run him over, but I ran him down, you know, I cornered him, and it was in front of the school. And so I called the school and asked for the SRO officer to come out. He came out, and like they legit ended up calling, like, later that night, like, it was a whole big old mess. But later that night, the bike ended up coming back. It ended up getting dropped off at the police station by the kids that stole it and said that they found it. Okay, mind you. And I said to him, because the cop had told me earlier, like, that the kids that had done it were actually, there had been other reports like before this, and so they were notorious and they were known for doing this. Okay. When he comes to my house, I said, well, what about charges? I said, I want to press charges. I said, he literally came on my property. He had to walk on the side of my house to come steal that bike. I'm like, he didn't find that at the end of the street, because he's like, oh, I found it on the edge. No, you did not. I know exactly where that bike was. And I'm like, no, he didn't. And I asked the cop, I was like, well, I want to press charges. And he's like, oh man, we can't do that. What? He stole somebody's bike. I caught him with it. He returned it to the police station, and you're telling me you're not going to hold him accountable? So you're just going to wait till he's 18, let him completely be an unruly juvenile delinquent, and then when he turns 18, you're just going to lock him up and throw away the key, pretty much, because that's what they're dragging him to. Like, I don't understand what these kids don't realize. Like, when I reported Mason missing last week, kid, his friend that he was with also his dad reported him missing too. Well, I get a call from the police officer the other night, he came to my house to talk to Mason because he had been off work for a couple of days. Well, he came back Friday night, and because he works thirds, but he works like 6P to 6A. So he came back, and it was like 7 o'clock. He came over, and he was like, I'm going to charge the other kid with, he's like, he's almost 18. This kid is. He's like, he's lucky he's not 18, because it would have been a felony interference with custody. And I'm like, and everybody's like, I don't understand how he can get interference with custody. I said, because he knew where you were, and he refused to return you to me. And according to the statute, that is interference with custody, because I offered to come get him. I'm like, just tell me where you are. Like, I'll come get him. It's not a big deal. Like, you don't even have to bring him home. Like, I will just come get him. I just want him home. He's literally asleep in the back of the car. Why does he need to be in the car? Like, it just makes no sense.
I gotta hold my 4-legged son now. He hasn't seen me all day.
Oh, poor baby.
I can't do nothing, man. I swear to God, I can't even take a shower in peace.
I know. I literally Bentley's stupid kitten. Bentley's kitten likes me, and I'm like, oh god. It literally comes up to me. I'm sitting in the chair out in the recliner in pain, and it's like he comes over and he lays in this basket beside me, and I was like, dude, why are you laying on my towel? Meow. I'm like, get off the towel. You're not cute. And then he sprawls out and he's like all laying there, all looking all comfy. I was like, you're not cute, dude. Stop. And he's like, Mom, why are you screaming at my cat? I'm like,
Well,
because your cat's laying on my towels. And
apparently,
he's not cute.
I'm his favorite. He sleeps above my head. He follows me everywhere. He licks me all the time. I'm like, dude, what is on me? But he's an instigator, right? Like if the dog is roaming free and the dog comes in my room, he will be asleep. He will hear the dog. He will wake up and go to the edge of the bed and look at the dog like this. And then he'll bap, 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 bap.
Yeah, smack the hell out of him.
Yeah, I'm like, leave her alone.
Yeah, the cat and the rabbit don't essentially get along. The rabbit gets mad, and essentially the cat was like really little at this point, and like he learned his lesson really quick, like because he decided the rabbit was gonna bite his nose and split his little nose open right on the. I'm like, oh my god! I'm like, Mooney, and Mooney's he's a cute rabbit. He's
Cute little
he doesn't
rabbit.
he doesn't like the kids. Okay, he just doesn't like them. Like every time they go to put their hands in there, he tries to bite them. Like
Oh,
he doesn't like the kids for some reason. I don't know why, but he does not like the kids. Like he will thump at them. He will literally bite at them. He will like lunge at them. It's crazy to watch because he's never done that with Dave and I.
He's
But
an
the kids,
attack
he
rabbit.
yeah, he legit is an attack rabbit. Yeah, and I think he's mad because I didn't braid his hair or something. Right? Because he's got like this long hair on top of his head.
well, I guess it's a good thing you all don't eat rabbits over there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Rabbit
know,
stew, rabbit
We had
gumbo.
rabbits when I was when the kids were younger and I was living with my dad. We had 3 rabbits. And like when the last one died, like he was a velveteen. Like he was literally looked just like Peter Rabbit. You would have thought he was a girl. He was so beautiful. And I asked my husband, I was like, are we gonna keep his fur? Like, and my husband's like, Becca, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, that was our pet. I was like, okay. And you can't do that. I'm like, well, I mean, you can, but you just won't. Okay, that's all you had to say. You just won't do it. I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to cut its foot off either. You know, because the lucky rabbit's foot or whatever. I'm like, oh, I can't. I don't know. But Dave's not. He's not a killer. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to accountability, right?
Yeah.
Because it really pisses me off, okay? When adults who think that they're in power over your child look at you and say, well, your child needs to take accountability. So let me tell you how I used to shut that shit down. My son and my oldest daughter, they always stayed in trouble, right? Like my daughter, well, not my daughter. Okay, my daughter literally incited a water fight on the school bus.
Ooh.
Okay. The bus driver was like, nobody's getting off this bus until this water's clean. So what did my daughter do? She opened the emergency door and told everybody to get the fuck off the bus. And they listened to her, not the bus driver.
Yep.
Now my son, she even put a boy in a locker. Okay, now, like she's mean.
I punched my bully.
Now my son on the right, but this one that I'm talking about, she's very calm. Mm-hmm. But if you flip that bitch's switch, woo, she's worse than me. Okay, everybody, she is her mother's daughter. Now my son was always getting in trouble for dumb shit. I remember, I swear to God, this is how I got barred off the school property. So My son came home one day and said, Mom, this white kid was picking on me, started a fight with me. And after the fight was over, the teacher took me in a headlock down to the ground. Oh, they did. I said, they did. They did what? So I said, don't worry. I'm taking you to school in the morning.
Oh, shit.
So I take him to school and he's hiding behind me. He's like, she's right there. Now, this lady must have been about 65
She's
years
right
old.
there.
So I look at her and I point at her. Now, there's kids in there and I don't care. I said, are you the bitch that put your fucking hands on my son? She goes, oh, I didn't mean to. I said, oh, what part didn't you mean? Putting him in a headlock and throwing him to the ground? I mean, which part of that? So here comes the first principal. You need to calm down. I threw my hand up in his face. I said, you need to get the fuck out of my face, Uncle Tom. The second principal comes by and she's like, Tiffany, you need to calm down. Now, her name was Miss Cobb, but I used to call her Miss Cocksucker, and I told her to get out of my face. Then Miss Kish comes in, and she's like, Tiffany, can I please talk to you? I said, no, there's no more talking. I've repeatedly told you all to keep your fucking hands off my son, right? And I said, and I'll whip all three of your asses in the parking lot. But since you're not going to go outside with me, I know you're going to call the cops. So I looked at my watch. I said, I'll be at 1850 Valley Avenue in 30 minutes. So you can go ahead and send the police over there. So they sent the police to my job. So in the meantime, before the cops come, they pull my son in the back room and it was like, are you okay? My son starts laughing at him, was like, are you okay?
I think I just watched you piss down your leg. What are you talking about? Why are you asking me?
Right. So they come, the police come with my son, hand me this no trespassing paper. I said, whatever. I called the superintendent and I said, we need to have a meeting like today. So I closed my office early because they said, we'll be here at what time, whatever. So me and my son go. This fucking superintendent had the nerve to tell me, well, until your son apologizes to the other student, he's not coming back. I said, well, I guess he's not coming back because he's not apologizing, and your teachers need to take accountability because I've told you multiple times to keep your fucking hands off my son. This motherfucker looked at me and said, now I talked to him just like that. We're keeping the no trespass on you. I said, you know what? You're about as worthless as a piece of shit floating on a fucking log down the Mississippi River. I said, my son is not apologizing. Jesus. And I said, let's go. Oh, then they realized he had an IEP. Oh, I know that call the next morning was a whole different story. You need to send your son to school. Yeah, exactly. No, he's not going to take accountability for one, something he didn't start. And where's the teacher that put her hands on my son? Where's her telling my son, I'm sorry, son, I didn't mean to take you down like that, or I hope I didn't hurt you. Not one word. You do not enforce accountability on anybody else unless you take it for yourself. That's what makes me mad. And I'm that bitch. I'm telling you, my son has sat in here and told stories that I freaking forgot and had everybody in this motherfucker crying, laughing so hard we were all crying, right? Because I don't play that shit. I jumped up on the school bus one day when I first moved up here. This little chick kept slapping my son. Okay, this is 2 incidents that I've had with somebody slapping my son. I said, she slapped you again? I said, what did the bus driver do? He said, well, if it happens again, he's going to kick me off the bus. I said, kick you off the bus? I said, you know what? I call my job.
I'm going to be late.
I said, I'm going to be late to work tomorrow. I got to get on this school bus. So let me tell you, this was in 2001. I wasn't even here a month. School bus comes. I let the kids get on. I jump up on the bus. I said, let me tell you something. I dare you to kick my son off this bus. Somebody put their hands on my son and you're going to threaten to kick him off this bus? I said, I promise you, if you kick him on this bus, won't nobody ride the bus and you won't be driving it. I will turn this place upside down and inside out. Do not play games with me. So he said, oh, yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am. So I guess he called the principal or went to talk to the principal about a mother getting on a bus irate. So they called me at work. And this is what I told the principal. At work now. I said, you don't know who I am, but I am that parent. You will not disrespect me or my son. And if you can't get it under control, I promise you, I will turn Frederick County, Virginia upside down, inside out, flip it, toss it, whatever the case may be, because I'm not that one. He's like, oh, yes, ma'am, we're going to take care of everything. Yeah, I didn't play with these people. That is not accountability. You can't do something to somebody else but not take care of. See, that's what drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's why essentially I was just like, you know what? I was like, fuck this. I'm like, I'm not giving it up. I'm like, and I was trying to, because I pissed the lawyer off like severely bad because I kept going back to the accountability part. Like you can hear, like, because I even asked her, I was like, well, wait a minute here. I was like, and as far as accountability, I'm like, literally his behavior, I'm like, if you go back and you read in his discipline records, I was like, you can see where this pattern has happened and it's been ignored over and over and over and over and over again. I'm like, and nobody wants to seem to volunteer. Hey, we screwed up. They removed diagnoses off of his IEP, and then I'm informed that they don't have to include them on there because that's not what their diagnoses are, because it's not for their funding that they get. That's not what they need. They need their definition of his disability to be on there, and that's it. But I'm like, but wouldn't him having ADHD and like impulse control problems and like conduct disorder, wouldn't you think you would want that to be on there? Like, and if it was on there on the one prior, and then I literally have the freaking the people services lady tell me that it wasn't on there. Bitch, I keep all my records. I don't know what these people don't understand. I keep every freaking paper I get from an IEP meeting, from the school, from everything. Like, it don't matter if it was mailed to me or handed to me. I keep it for that reason, because she wanted to sit there and say that it wasn't on there. I showed the freaking psychologist at the IEP meeting that when they were missing, she's like, well, I don't see them on here. I'm like, I literally was like, I did a skim read, like on her computer, did a skim read and found ADHD on the first fucking page. You didn't see that? Those capital 4 letters? Like, I freaking literally...
Who diagnosed him with ADHD? The school psychologist?
No, a doctor did.
Okay, because let me tell you, they tried to tell... Listen, I know that shit runs in my family, okay? We won't say the medications that my family's on. But they said, well, the school psychologist said that he's ADHD. I said, that is not a psychiatrist, okay? Nobody can legally put that diagnosis on him without being seen by a psychiatrist.
Mm-hmm. Well, so after we had this,
so hold up, guys. I don't mean to interrupt your volley here, but if you guys check this out, first of all, we got a bunch of people in here. We got Tammy's here, we got Tori Lindsay's here, we got Unconvicted Justice here, we got Erica's in the house, we got My Name is Classics here. But check out what My Name is Classic is. She's got a group that she runs, Mental Health Coach Online, which maybe you guys should check out. mentalhealthcoachonline.com, and click book now. It's the CPS support group, and the rate is $30. But if you put in Tiffany the Punisher in the comments form, you can join for $30 a week, not per session. So that's a huge discount. So make sure you guys check that out. I was just looking at it. That was pretty cool. Let me show this to you guys here real quick.
Hey, Stacey.
Check it out. Boom. So this is great stuff right here. There's Tiff. She gets the full-size picture again. Put that there.
Damn Big old head.
Here's her stuff right there. You don't have to figure this out alone. Really cool. It's a group, and I'm pretty sure that Classic's running it. So make sure you guys do. It's confidential. It says compassionate, confidential coaching for adults navigating anxiety, relationships, and the everyday weight of being human, all from the comfort of wherever you are. So make sure you guys check that out. She's got good stuff for helping people here, it looks like. So make sure you check it out, and then make sure you put Tiff and the Punisher in the comments, and you guys will get a huge discount. So make sure you guys check that out.
She needs to come back and start doing her show.
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. And Tammy, we keep praying for us all, please. Tori says, Tori's got kind of a question here. She says, so my kids have a GAL that has not seen the kids once nor talked to us. Nothing. He went to Europe for a month. How do I get him removed? So getting a GAL removed is pretty tough.
Yeah, because they're appointed by the judge, and essentially they answer to the judge.
Yep.
Get with Stacy. I know Stacy's on here. Get with Stacy, Tori, because Tori is here in Virginia too. She's only an hour from me, and Stacy's 2 hours from me. And Erica, I see your emergency hearing tomorrow. I hope it goes well.
So, but I do want to.
So, hold on a second. So, when you need to have your attorney file a formal motion with a court proving clear misconduct, severe bias, or failure to perform the duties. That's the basic beginning of your GAL removal. Severe bias or proving conflict of interest, failure to investigate, which sounds like you do kind of have, and then ethical violations. If you don't have a lawyer, then you need to file a motion to remove or replace the GAL, outlining the specific evidence of wrongdoing. If the removal is denied, your attorney can challenge the GAL's credibility, or you can findings during the court testimonies. So make sure you cross-examine them.
Yeah, and get with Stacy.
Get with Stacy.
Erica, I'm so sorry. She said, I was up on my computer so I could read it. She said, everything has been hitting the fan, I swear. A death in the family. Emergency hearing tomorrow, and another family member on life support. So our prayers go out to you, Erica. Sure. My God. Jesus, you're on the TIFF diet.
There, Cookie. Yeah, hang in there, please. You got this. You're strong. You're good. You're strong. You'll get through this for sure. Oh, and the car broke down. Everything is going downhill. You have us, Erica. Yeah, people say it comes in threes. It comes in like 50s.
Well, no, and when it rains, it fucking pours.
Mm-hmm.
More than that, dumps on you. Yeah, for certain.
Yeah, actually, it does.
Yeah, there's Stacy right there. Stacy, the essence.
Yeah, and she's gonna get with you, Stacy. Thank you for helping her. I appreciate it.
Yes.
You already know what I call you. We don't talk about it on the air, but you know what you are.
Oh Lord! Oh my goodness! Oh gosh! Osiris gonna be mad.
It ain't nothing bad.
Oh, all right. I just want to make sure Osiris ain't gonna be upset about it.
I talked to him today. He was actually on his way to the doctor, so I hope he's doing all right.
Yeah, he's got to get his stomach back and everything. His taste buds and all those things you got to regain when you come back from the vacation.
Yeah, because he looks like he's been on the Tiffany diet for 2 months. I look like I've been on my Tiffany diet for 5 months.
Yeah. All right. I didn't mean to interrupt you guys. I just wanted to point out
that almost over.
Was commenting.
It's almost over. But I want people to understand. I'm sorry, Beck. I didn't mean to cut you off. If these people aren't taking accountability for their own actions, do not let them shift the accountability onto your children or you, because that is unacceptable. Go ahead, Becca.
this is how so after I had that IEP meeting that I was talking about, I decided the next day I was going to write to the superintendent of the school district. And I CC'd the assistant principal, the school psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever she is, the pupil services lady, and the email says, Superintendent Piper, members of Troy City School Board of Education and Administration, I am writing about what has been happening to my son, Mason Soto, at Troy High School. It's not a misunderstanding, not a breakdown in communication, and not some minor oversight someone can brush off. What has been happening is a clear, consistent pattern of negligence, incompetence, and blatant noncompliance with IDEA, ADA, Section 504, and multiple federal mandates, and it has gone on long enough. Let me also make something perfectly clear from the start. I did not even know these violations were happening until very recently. For 2 years, I assumed, like any reasonable parent, that the people being paid to do this job actually were doing it. It was only during a conversation with Mrs. Jabel that I casually referenced my son's ADHD, ODD, and conduct disorder, and she informed me that none of those diagnoses were in the IEP. To say I was shocked is an understatement. To say I'm angry is putting it lightly. To realize the district let 2 full years of noncompliance happen right under my nose, and that I had to find it and bring it to your attention is infuriating. I'm a parent with a full-time life, responsibilities, work, and obligations, and I should not have to spend hours of my time researching the law, documenting failures, and correcting the negligence of trained professionals who are supposed to know this better than me. And yet here I am, doing your jobs, because the people who should have been doing them were either incapable, uninterested, or simply unwilling. Let's start with the most alarming issue. Mason's diagnosis is disappearing. At the IEP meeting, I was informed casually that Mason's ADHD and ODD diagnoses were no longer in his IEP or BIP. When I asked who removed them, the school psychologist said, I don't know. That statement alone tells me everything I need to know about the quality of oversight at Troy High School. These diagnoses are listed clearly and plainly in his previous ETR from Piqua City Schools. Under 34 CFR subsection 300.304 to 300.305, this information must be carried forward and must inform services. Losing diagnoses is not a paperwork issue. It is a major evaluation violation, and it has directly harmed Mason. Now let's talk about the school psychologist, because this is where the situation becomes even more disturbing. The person who is legally responsible for recognizing disability-related behavior, ensuring evaluations are accurate, leading behavioral planning, correcting staff misunderstandings, stopping unlawful discipline, or guiding the team on FBA and MDR requirements, instead sat in the IEP meeting and agreed with the discriminatory statements made by the principal. Ms. Kashmir actually agreed that Mason simply needs to be held accountable and that the real world won't accommodate him. A school psychologist who believes this should not be evaluating disabled children. Period. It demonstrates a complete lack of understanding of IDEA, ADA, trauma-informed practice, functional behavior principles, and disability law. Adults in the real world are required to accommodate disabilities. That's literally what the ADA is for. She didn't catch the missing diagnoses. She didn't initiate an FBA. She didn't initiate the manifestation determination. She didn't stop or correct illegal discipline. She didn't read the ETR closely enough to even know his diagnoses, and didn't correct the principal's factually wrong statements about discipline law. And she didn't identify 2 years of escalating behavior as a problem requiring intervention. Instead of doing the job she is licensed for, she has been nodding her head to unlawful, punitive approaches that violate federal law. Then there's the discipline, which has been illegal for 2 years. Mason has been removed from class, put in hallways, sent home early, suspended, given in-school suspension, given Tuesday, Thursday schools, repeatedly, written up, all while being punished for neurological symptoms he cannot control. Under 34 CFR 305.530 and the OSEP Dear Colleague letter from 2016, all of these are considered removals. Staff repeatedly insisted only suspensions count. This is wrong. This is illegal, and it tells me the training is non-existent. For 2 years, I have said that Mason's behaviors are neurological, and for 2 years I have been met with, he has to be held accountable. We can't let him get away with it. He can't talk to teachers like that. Meanwhile, under Andrew F. 2017, when a disabled child's behavior worsens, the school, not the child, must change the plan. Instead, the plan stayed the same, the discipline stayed the same, and Mason got worse because punishment only increases dysregulation, and does not build executive functioning skills. Still no FBA, which is another major violation. 2 years of escalating behaviors. 19 referrals are just from this year alone. Multiple removals, emotional shutdowns, clear patterns, clear triggers, worsening dysregulation, and still no FBA assessment. Under 34 CFR 303.24A2I and enter F, this is not optional. It is required, yet no one did it. No one even initiated it. No one even discussed it until I repeatedly demanded it. The root of all this is simple. Your staff is untrained. Under 24 USC 1412A14 and 34 CFR 300.207, all staff working with disabled children must be trained in the child's disability, behavior intervention, emotional regulation, de-escalation, trauma-informed response, replacement skills, and IEP implementation. But based on everything I've seen, staff are not trained in neurodivergency, executive functioning, emotional dysregulation, identifying disability-related behavior, de-escalation, and trauma response. The end result, punishment for disability symptoms, which is illegal. Given all of this, I'm formally requesting the IE at public expense. I'm requesting an independent education evaluation or an independent functional behavior assessment due to evaluation failures, lost diagnoses, and lack of behavioral assessments, discriminatory statements, misuse of discipline, and untrained staff and procedural noncompliance. The district must either approve the IEE or file for due process. Considering you cannot defend an evaluation that wasn't even done by you, let alone done correctly, I expect approval. Here's what I require immediately. And I told him that I wanted, all this stuff.
What were those statutes that you quoted again?
Which ones?
The Carolina, the laws, the rules, the regulations that you quoted.
34 CFR.
Yeah.
300 or subsection 300.502. That's one of them.
What's that one now?
There's
I'm just putting it up here so people know what they are.
Becca, do you see Stacy's comment?
Wow. Is that what she said? Right?
Him.
He said that's a federal lawsuit all day long. She can literally take this letter and revamp it into a pleading and file it in federal court.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And that's why I was like, file it. I was like, okay, file for due process, because you know what? I mean, hello. Like I swear to God, I must have deleted it because I even had in there that I wouldn't let her evaluate my dog, let alone my child.
As soon as Darren puts those up, people can go back and watch this because we got to go. Because Darren, I need to talk to you after the show.
No, not on.
Okay.
I'll be there to monitor.
That's independent educational evaluation. Parents of a child with a disability have the right under this part to obtain an independent educational evaluation.
At public expense. And if they can't defend an evaluation that they didn't perform, which, I mean, so you got to either file for the IEE or approve the IEE or file a due process complaint. They couldn't file a due process complaint because they didn't have anything they could defend because they didn't do the assessment originally.
I will, Stacy.
But then there was under 34 CFR 324A2I.
324.
Did y'all forget that I got to start second grade tomorrow?
We know you're not smarter than a fifth grader, and I know you can't teach shit. So she sends me this picture earlier, and I'm like, Tiff, I can't fucking read this. It's fuzzy. And she's like, it is? I'm like, everything's fucking fuzzy to me. What the fuck do you mean?
I'm so sorry. I told you I was blind. Y'all thought I was kidding.
She's like, it's blurry, really? I'm like, yes, Tiff, it's blurry. I can't read it. She's like, oh. I was like, well,
what's the other one, Becca?
34 CFR 302 or 324A2I.
Let's put that one up there too.
Face green, smiling. Face green, smiling. Oh, I thought that was you, Darren. I was like, really?
So this one is right here. Paste. Oh no, yes, paste.
And then there's 20 USC subsection 1412A14.
Federal finance. So that one's federal financial assistance. Is that right? Or am I wrong there?
For which one?
The 34.
324 A2I.
Yeah.
300. I think that
Title
was that
2
had to
Code
do
of the
with
Federal Regulations, subject Office of Management and Budget, government wide. Must be right. Part 2I.
A2I.
Okay.
It should be about FBAs. It should be about the behavioral assessments.
Acronym definition.
CF. Oh, crap. CFR 300.
Acronyms and definitions. Part A2.
Okay, so it says under that, when an IEP team develops a student's individualized education program, they must consider positive behavioral interventions and supports and other strategies for a child whose behavior gets in the way of their own learning or learning of others. Applies when a student's behavior impacts learning, mandates consideration of positive behavioral interventions and supports, requires alternative strategies to manage and change disruptive or impeding actions.
Trying to put it up here. This here. So there's a site. It's ecfr.gov.
Yeah.
You guys should try it. Check it out. Use it. If you look for all these codes that you're looking for are all here. It's all the codes of federal regulations. ecfr.gov. Put it up there for you.
And like even like the Department of Education, like so 20 USC subsection 1412A14 outlines the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act requires for personnel qualifications to ensure children with disabilities are served by qualified staff.
Yes, Erica, please let us know what happens at court tomorrow. Best of luck to you for certain. Absolutely, best of luck, and we'll all pray for you tonight for sure.
Yes, we will. I gotta go, guys.
All right. Well, we are getting out of here, everybody. So we will be back tomorrow night, same time, same place. Everybody
Darren, I'm about to
be
call
happy.
you.
Why don't you just stay in the back room?
Because of me. She wants to be secretive.
Oh, I do have my phone. Okay. Yeah, I got my phone.
Let's be secret.
Federal dollars flowing. Incentives got you bolder. No more kings, no more crowns. Time to expose the folder. Listen up, CPS, grab your policies, babies crying in the system. Title 4 checks coming, got you acting like a villain. Ranting on your reports, fabricating narratives. Random feds knocking on doors, but the real crime is how you abandon. You take kids for profit, federal funding got you stacking tall. Termination petitions, parental rights about to fall. False allegations, no due process, just your word against mine. Title 4 money train rolling, destroying families line by line. You say best interest of the child, but the stats tell a different tale. Kids lost in the system, trauma piled on without fail. Kinship care denied, strangers get the title for pay. While real parents fight in court just to see another day. No kings, no crowns, no CPS overlords. Title 4 funding got the system pulling strings for rewards. We ain't stopping till the corruption gets exposed. Parental rights restored, watch the whole machine implode. No kings, no more. Time to fight back hard. CPS Title for scams, leaving families scarred. Truth hits harder than your fabricated reports. We keep fighting till the system falls apart.
Yo, caseworkers playing God with your federal incentives clear. Title $4 for every kid that disappears. Reunification rates dropping while your bonuses appear. Families torn apart while you claim the moral high ground. Here investigations biased, evidence twisted like a noose. Court hearings rigged, judges trusting you without no proof. You target the poor, the disabled, single moms in despair. Title IV funding pipeline keeps the nightmare in the air. You say protect the children, but the data shows the opposite. Higher rates of abuse inside the system you profit from. Ironic, foster parents failing kids, bouncing home to home while real parents get silenced, left fighting all alone.
This ain't protection, this is a business with federal grants.
Title IV money,
Funding every chance.
no oversight, real, no accountability in sight. Parents united now, we taking back our right.
No kings, no crowns, no more CPS control. Title IV pipeline drying up, watch the system fold. We ain't stopping, no more silent suffering.
Parental rights forever, hear the people thundering.
Kings, no kings. No kings.
We know it's all about the money, we know they lie, we know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?